I am your wife, Daniel, I whispered, gripping the edge of the marble table. You cannot just throw me out like this. He did not even flinch. His eyes stayed glued to the stack of papers in front of him. We are divorced, Elena. You signed it. Under pressure. You gave me one night to decide. Daniel stood, adjusting his cuffs. You knew it was coming. We have not been a couple for a long time. You found someone younger, I snapped. That is all this is. You wanted out the moment Rachel started working under you. She is better for my image, he said, shrugging like we were talking about switching cars. And she does. Not cry as much. I am pregnant. That made him pause. His hand froze mid-button. Then he turned slowly. What did you just say? I am pregnant, I said again, quieter this time. You are going to be a father. He shook his head. That cannot be possible. We have not even... 3 months ago, I interrupted. The night before the charity gala. He looked down, lips tight. Why would you tell me this now? Because you are throwing me out. Because you are marrying someone else. Because... I thought maybe you would care. I do not, he said flatly. Get out, Elena. This changes nothing. You are heartless. No, he said, finally walking toward me. I am focused. This is not a charity. This is my life. I need peace, not chaos. I have nowhere to go, I whispered, voice cracking. My parents are gone. I have no one. Then I suggest you start over. Daniel, please. He opened the door. Rachel was standing on the other side, smirking in her silk robe. Elena, she said sweetly. Still here? Daniel motioned to the hallway. She is leaving. Daniel, please do not do this. I reached for him, but he stepped back, like I was poison. You are not my responsibility anymore. My hands shook as I picked up the suitcase. You will regret this. He leaned against the doorway. Doubt it. Rachel slid her arm around his waist. She'll be fine. Maybe the kid will grow up to work in retail. That sounds about right. I could not speak. My chest hurt too much. I walked past them, down the marble stairs, into the rain. My suitcase wheel snagged on the stones, dragging like a wounded leg. Elena. Daniel called out one last time. I stopped. Do not use my name. Do not contact me. And do not say the child is mine. You have nothing on me. I turned around slowly. I have everything. You just cannot see it yet. He laughed once and slammed the door shut. I stood there for a moment. Just the rain. Just me. And the small plastic stick in my coat pocket. 2 lines. 2 lives growing inside me. I walked down the driveway with my heart pounding, my shoes soaked, my hair clinging to my face. No car, no driver. Just miles of road and a future I could not imagine. I pulled out my phone. Dead. Typical. I sat under a bus stop, water dripping from the ceiling. I hate you, I whispered. Not to Daniel, to myself. For trusting him. For staying. For thinking love would protect me. Ma'am? A stranger asked. You all right? I will be. Do you need to call someone? No one left to call. He nodded and walked on. The cold found my bones. The hunger crept in. But I held my stomach and whispered, I will not break. Not for him. Not for anyone. I did not cry. Not that night. I saved the tears for later, when they would burn less. For now, all I had was silence, 2 lives inside me, and a rage I buried deep. But someday, I knew that silence would speak, and he would hear it. You sure you're okay down here? Sarah stood at the top of the stairs, her voice soft. It gets damp at night. I'll manage, I said, adjusting the blanket around my shoulders. It's better than outside. She took a step down. You're shivering. I'll be fine. Elena, you're not. Your lips are blue. I've been through worse. She sighed and crossed the room. You want to talk about it? No. Hell, not tonight, Sarah. I glanced away. Please. She knelt beside the cot and placed a small tray on the floor. I made soup. I stared at the steam curling up from the bowl. Smells good. Eat something. You look like you've not eaten in days. I haven't. Jesus. She sat back on her heels. How long were you at the bus station? 3 hours. Maybe 4. I stopped counting when my phone died. She watched me closely. And Daniel? My throat clenched. Don't ask. You need to talk to someone. No. I need to forget. She hesitated. Did he hurt you? I shook my head. Not the way you mean. Then what? I pulled the blanket tighter. He let me fall. She stood, pacing slowly. You don't have to tell me everything, but I need to know if you're safe. I'm safe, I said quickly. I'm just empty. Sarah sat on the floor beside me. You're not empty. You're here. You survived. I looked at her. You really believe that matters? I do. We sat in silence. Why did you come to me? She asked finally. Because I had nowhere else to go. You always have me. I didn't think you'd answer. She reached for my hand. I always answer, even when you disappear for years. I looked down. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Just stay this time. I swallowed hard. Sarah. Yeah? There's something else. She leaned in. What is it? I touched my stomach gently. I'm pregnant. Her eyes widened. What? I found out the day he left me. Oh my God, Elena. I nodded. I didn't tell him until the moment I was at the door. And? He told me it changed nothing. That bastard. I told him he'd regret it. Sarah blinked fast. How far along? Maybe 6 weeks. She leaned forward, hugging me without asking. You're not alone. Not anymore. I held on tighter than I meant to. I don't know how to do this. You don't have to know everything, one step at a time. I've never even held a baby. Then we'll learn together. I smiled weakly. You're really okay with me being here? You're not a burden, Elena. You're my friend. Your family. I looked around the basement. The exposed pipes. The mildew. The single bulb overhead. This isn't home, I whispered. It's not supposed to be, she said. It's a beginning. I'm so scared. She grinned. Then you're doing something worth fighting for. I let that sink in. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. No, I do. You're the only one who stayed. She nodded slowly. Sleep. We'll figure it all out tomorrow. She headed for the stairs, then turned. Do you want me to stay down here tonight? No, I said, but leave the door open. Always. When she was gone, I lay back and stared at the ceiling. I placed my hands over my belly and whispered, It's just us now. The silence answered, louder than any scream I had ever made. But this time I did not feel small inside it. I felt alive. Breathe, Elena. Just keep breathing. I am trying. I screamed. It hurts so much. Sarah, I know, but you are almost there. Just one more push. I can't. Yes, you can. Come on, one more. My body shook as I pushed with everything I had left. The air around me smelled like rain and sweat, and the thunder outside cracked like the sky was breaking apart. Then I heard it. A cry. High. Fragile. Alive. Oh my God. I whispered. Is that? It's a boy. Sarah said, her voice trembling. Elena, you did it. He's beautiful. Let me see him, I begged. She placed him on my chest, wrapped in a towel. My hands were shaking as I touched his face. Jackson, I whispered. That's your name. He opened his eyes, and I forgot the pain. Just for a second, Sarah leaned close. There's still one more. I groaned. I know. I feel it. Ready? No. 2. Bad! I laughed and cried all at once. Tell me when. Now. Push! I screamed louder than before. The storm outside raged with me. And then, another cry. A girl, Sarah said, beaming. You have a girl! I reached out again, sobbing. Lily, her name is Lily. Sarah brought her over, and I held them both. They're so small. They're perfect. I don't know what to do. You'll figure it out. What if I mess everything up? You won't. I looked at them again. They didn't ask to be here. Sarah sat beside me. No child ever does. But they're here now, and they have you. That's the part that scares me. Why? Because I'm not enough. You're more than enough. You brought 2 lives into the world with nothing but your strength and a towel. And a screaming voice. True, but mostly strength. I laughed, tears running down my face. I feel like I died tonight. You kind of did, she said softly. And look who was born instead. I can't believe they're real. They are. And they're watching you like you're their whole world. I'm all they have. Then give them the best of you. I kissed their foreheads. I will never let them feel unwanted. You'll need help. Will you help me? Always. I turned toward her. Promise me something. Anything. If I ever lose myself, remind me who I was tonight. I will. We sat there, in silence for a while. The rain slowed. The thunder faded into a low grumble. Do you think he knows? I asked. Daniel? I nodded. I doubt he cares. Then I hope it stays that way. Are you sure? Yes. He doesn't deserve them. Sarah touched my shoulder. Then let's raise them without him. Better that way. You're not the same woman anymore. No, I said, staring at the twins. She's gone. Good. I held them close. From now on, everything changes. Sarah smiled. Starting tonight. I was broken when I walked into your basement. And now? Now I'm a mother. You're something stronger. I looked at my babies. I'm fire. They'll grow up seeing that. They'll never know what it's like to beg someone to stay. No, they won't. They'll never cry outside a mansion door. They'll grow up knowing they were always wanted. I will protect them with everything I have. And I'll be right beside you. Sarah? Yeah? Thank you, she nodded. We survived the storm. No, I whispered. We became it. Hey, new girl, the manager barked. Mop that spill before someone breaks a hip. I'm on it, I said, grabbing the mop and heading to aisle 5. An old woman shuffled past me, eyeing my name tag. Elena, she read. Pretty name. Thank you, I said with a smile I barely felt. She glanced down at the twins' photos clipped inside my apron. Yours? Yes. God bless. You, she whispered. Doing it alone? I nodded. One day at a time. She walked away and I pressed the mop harder against the tiles. Why are you always so quiet? Jenny, the cashier, asked during our break. Because I'm tired, I replied, sipping the stale coffee. You're too pretty to be cleaning floors. I'm not here to be pretty. She tilted her head. What happened to you? Life. Must have been something serious. I stood up. Everyone has their story. But yours looks like it hurts. I've healed worse. She looked surprised. You're tough. No, just determined. After my shift, I walked back to the small apartment and knocked twice before opening the door. Jackson's asleep, Mr. Green whispered, rocking Lily gently. He cried for you. I know. I'm sorry. He handed her to me. How many hours today? 12. And tomorrow? 14. You can't keep this up. I have to. He watched me for a moment. You ever sleep? When they do. You don't talk much. I don't need to. But you hold everything in. It's safer that way. He folded his arms. You're not as invisible as you think. I'm trying to be. Why? Because pity feels worse than pain. You think I pity you? I looked down. Most people do. Not me, I respect you. I smiled faintly. Thanks. You've got fire in your eyes. I'm saving it. For what? You'll see. At the laundromat job the next day, the heat made my skin stick to the machines. My fingers ached from folding. You're fast, the supervisor said. I don't waste time. Looking for extra hours? Always. You got someone helping with the kids? My landlord. He raised an eyebrow. Unusual. He's kind. I was going to say rare. I take rare over rich. He chuckled. You're sharper than you look. You have no idea. Later that night, Sarah stopped by with groceries. Please tell me this is not ramen again. I joked. Mac and cheese. And apples. Fancy. She scanned the room. Where are the twins? Bath time. She opened a cabinet. You're out of wipes. I'll pick some up after work. Elena, you're running yourself into the ground. I know. You need help. I'm helping myself. By working 3 jobs and living off coffee? It's temporary. She leaned against the wall. You're planning something. I paused. I'm learning. Learning what? How to survive. She lowered her voice. You don't have to fight alone. I'm not alone. I have them. And what about you? I stopped mattering when I got pregnant. That's not true. I made peace with it. Sarah sighed. You've changed. Good. I just hope you don't lose what's left of you. I looked her in the eyes. What's left is exactly what I need. That night after the twins were asleep, I sat on the floor, flipping through old notebooks. You're up late, Mr. Green said from the doorway. I'm writing. About what? Everything he taught me. Your ex? No, I said, looking up. What he never taught me. What he hid. He stepped in. You planning to use it? When the time is right. He nodded slowly. You're building. Something. I closed the notebook. I'm rebuilding. He smiled. You've already started. You taking a break or hiding? Jenny asked, sliding into the booth beside me. Does it matter? I muttered, staring at my sandwich. She took out her phone. I need both. I tried to focus on my lunch, but her gasp cut through the noise. Oh my God. Look at this. I glanced over. There he was. Daniel, in a tuxedo, holding Rachel's hand like she was his prize. I froze. Daniel Carter marries his executive assistant. Jenny read aloud. Power couple, blah, blah, blah. My throat tightened. She looks like she won the lottery. She added, zooming. And I know that ring, I whispered. What? That's my ring. Jenny blinked. Wait, are you serious? I wore that ring for 6 years. Holy, Elena, that's your ex? Yes. He married her? Yes. She stared at me. Wow. I stood up. I need some air. Outside, the wind felt sharp against my skin. I closed my eyes and breathed deep. Sarah's voice popped. Up behind me. You saw it too? I turned slowly. You knew? I found out this morning. You didn't tell me? I didn't want you to spiral. I'm not spiraling. You're shaking. I looked at my hands. I thought I'd feel more. And I don't. She stepped beside me. Then what do you feel? Focused. On? Everything. He left behind. Sarah raised an eyebrow. You mean the twins? I mean me. She crossed her arms. You're not thinking of confronting them? No. Elena, I'm thinking of reminding them who I am. She hesitated. You already did that when you survived. No, I said. I disappeared. Now I want them to see what silence built. She studied me. What are you planning? I don't know yet. But you will? Yes. Back inside, I grabbed the newspaper someone left on the counter. The headline stared up at me. CEO marries his former secretary in lavish private ceremony. I ran my finger across the ink. Mr. Green, I said later that night, have you seen this? He took the paper. Didn't think he'd waste time. She's wearing my ring. He nodded. Of course she is. They didn't even change the design. Because they lack imagination. I smirked. It's like they erased me. No, he said. They buried you. But you planted yourself. I tilted my head. That's poetic. It's the truth. I folded the paper. I want them to regret it. They will. But I want to see it. Patience. I sat on the steps. He used to say I was too emotional. He feared your strength. He replaced me like I was disposable. You're not. He doesn't deserve peace. Let karma do the heavy lifting. What if I want to help karma? He chuckled. Then be clever. Sarah appeared with Lily in her arms. She wouldn't stop asking for you. I took my daughter. Mommy's here. Mommy's sad? She asked. I kissed her cheek. No, baby. Mommy's just thinking. She touched my face. You miss Daddy? No, I whispered. Not even a little. Sarah looked away. You want to keep seeing headlines like that? No. Then let's give them a reason to print a different one. I smiled. Now you're thinking like me. I've been around you too long. We both laughed. That night I stared at the wedding photo again. Rachel's fake smile. Daniel's empty eyes. Enjoy your moment, I whispered, because I'm coming for mine. Sit down, Elena, Mr. Green said, sliding a glass of water toward me. There's someone I want you to meet. I just got off a 10-hour shift, I muttered. I smell like bleach and regret. He smiled. You smell like resilience. She won't mind. She? The front door opened before he answered. A woman in a navy suit walked in, heels clicking like they meant business. Her eyes found mine immediately. Catherine Blake, she said, extending her hand. Attorney, friend of Truth, enemy of Daniel. Carter, I blinked. That's specific. She sat across from me. He ruined my sister's life. Different story, same pattern. I looked at Mr. Green. Why am I here? Because I think you're ready, he said. I'm not. You will be. Catherine leaned in. Tell me what happened. I shifted uncomfortably. That's complicated. I like complicated. I don't, she smirked. Then give me the basics. He left me, I said. Took everything. Married someone else. Did you sign anything? Yes. Under pressure? Yes. She nodded slowly. Were you pregnant when you signed? I hesitated. I didn't know yet. Does he know now? I shook my head. No. Why not? Because he made it clear I was nothing. She narrowed her eyes. He has no idea he has children? No. And how old are they now? 5. Twins? Yes. She leaned back. He's never paid a cent? Not one. Good. Good? She folded her hands. He thinks he's safe. That's how we catch him. I don't want his money. You need it. No, I need peace. This is how. You get it. Mr. Green chimed in. You don't have to do anything today. Just talk. Catherine's voice softened. I'm not here to pressure you. I'm here to offer power. I don't feel powerful, I whispered. Exactly why I came. I glanced away. I don't have evidence. You have children. You have dates. And if he lies, I'll bury him in truth. I looked at my hands. They ask about him. Your kids? Almost every week. Where's Daddy? Why don't we have one? What do you tell them? That he's busy. Catherine leaned forward. Are you ready to stop lying for him? My chest tightened. I'm not sure. You don't have to be sure. Just brave. Bravery runs thin when you're broke. I'll work pro bono. My eyes snapped to hers. Why? Because Daniel Carter thinks women are disposable. I have a habit of proving him wrong. Mr. Green smiled. Told you she's worth meeting. I don't want a war, I murmured. This isn't a war, Catherine said. It's a mirror. Let's show him what he left behind. What if he fights back? I hope he does. I exhaled. What do you need from me? Copies of anything you signed. Letters, emails, dates, memories. Memories? They build timelines. Timelines build pressure. I'm tired of pressure. You're tired of silence. She was right. I need time, I said. Take it, she replied. But don't take too long. Some wounds rot if they stay buried. She stood and adjusted her jacket. When you're ready, I'll be waiting. After she left, I stared at Mr. Green. You think I should do this? I think you already decided. No, I didn't. You came here, I whispered. They deserve the truth. So do you. The clock ticked louder than it should have. They'll hate him. No, Mr. Green said. They'll understand you. And for the first time in years, I considered what that might feel like. Your daddy works at the car wash, the boy yelled, pointing at Lily's backpack. She planted her feet. No, he doesn't. My daddy is a millionaire. I froze. Her voice echoed across the schoolyard like a bell I never meant to ring. Lily, I whispered, stepping closer. Where did you hear that? She turned to me proudly. You said his name was Daniel Carter. I nodded slowly. I did. He's on the posters by the coffee shop, she added. He's famous. The other kids stared. One girl whispered, Is she lying? Lily crossed her arms. He's my dad, and he's rich. The teacher walked over. Is everything all right, Miss Carter? Yes, I said quickly. We're fine. As we walked away, Lily beamed. Did I do something good? I opened the car door. Get in, sweetheart. She climbed in, humming. At home, I sat across from her at the table. Why did you say that at school? She shrugged. Because it's true. It's not something we talk about, Lily. But why? I hesitated. Because it's complicated. She frowned. Do you love Daddy? I swallowed. I don't know him anymore. But he's my daddy, right? Yes. Then why don't we see him? Jackson walked in holding a juice box. Is Daddy coming over? I shook my head. No, baby. Did he forget about us? No, I said. He just chose a different life. Do we get to choose too? Lily asked. Sometimes we don't get to choose what people do. But he's rich, Jackson said. He could buy us stuff. We don't need stuff, I replied. We have each other. Lily looked down. Kids at school have dads who pick them up. I reached for her hand. I know. Did we do something wrong? No, I whispered. He did. She blinked. Are you mad at him? Yes. Will we ever meet him? I stared at the floor. Maybe, someday, when you're ready. I'm ready now. No, I said gently. You're not. Jackson looked at me. Did he like you? He did once. Why did he leave? I paused. Because he didn't know how to stay. Lily leaned her head on the table. I want to ask him why. I do too. They stayed quiet. I stood and opened a drawer. From the back, I pulled out a framed photo. This was him, I said, setting it down. On our wedding day. Jackson stared. You were smiling. I thought I had everything. Lily touched the glass. He looks nice. Looks can lie. Like secrets? She asked. I nodded. Yes, like secrets. Jackson whispered. Are we secrets? My heart cracked. No, you're miracles. Lily blinked. So why does it feel like a secret? Because I was scared, I admitted. And ashamed. Of us? Jackson asked. Never, I said firmly. Of him. They looked at each other, then at me. You can tell us, Lily said. I will, I promised. Little by little. Will you be sad? Jackson asked. Probably. Will we be sad? Maybe. But it's better than lying? Lily asked. I nodded. It is. That night I lay between them in bed. Their tiny hands clung to mine. I don't want to be a secret, Lily whispered. You won't be, I said. Not anymore. I still think he'll come back one day, Jackson murmured. Maybe, I said. But until then, I'm here. Forever? Lily asked. Forever. They fell asleep with soft breaths and full hearts, and I lay there, wondering how much truth they could handle, how much more I could hide. But I knew one thing for sure. Lies might protect you for a while, but they never tuck your children in at night. Mail's on the counter, Mr. Green called from the kitchen. Anything good? I asked, sorting. Through the pile. Bills, ads, junk. Wait, what is it? I held up a black envelope with gold trim. Heavy. Fancy. Came addressed to you? He dried his hands and looked over my shoulder. That's from Carter and Blake. I raised an eyebrow. As in Daniel Carter? Yes. I opened it carefully. Inside was a glossy invitation with cursive lettering, an exclusive evening to honor the vision of Daniel Carter Gala. Dinner and award ceremony, Friday 7 p.m. The Argentum Ballroom. My chest tightened. Why would this come here? He took a breath. I used to handle some of his books before he cut me off. And this just shows up now. He looked at me. Maybe someone wanted you to see it. Do you think it was him? Doubtful. But someone in that office remembers you. I ran my finger across Daniel's name. I haven't seen him in 6 years. Are you thinking of going? I looked up. Would you? If I had unfinished business? I met his eyes. Then I guess I have to find a dress. I still can't believe you're doing this, Sarah said as she zipped me up. I can. Why? Because I'm tired of pretending I'm invisible. She looked at me in the mirror. You don't look invisible. You look like someone he won't recognize until it's too late. That's the point. The ballroom glittered like something out of a dream. Gold chandeliers, white roses, champagne trays everywhere. I stepped inside, heels clicking. Against marble, heart pounding like a war drum. Name, please? The woman at the entrance asked. Elena Carter. She blinked. As in, yes. She checked the list. Her eyes narrowed. You're not invited? I smiled. I know. That's why I'm here. Inside, laughter echoed and cameras flashed. I moved through the crowd like a ghost in silk, and then I saw him. Daniel stood near the stage, smiling, surrounded by people. Rachel was beside him in a red gown, holding his arm like a trophy. Sarah's voice echoed in my mind. You don't look invisible. I walked past the bar, past the whispers, past the faces that once smiled at me from across charity tables. Elena? Someone gasped. I turned slowly. Rachel. She froze. What are you doing here? I got an invitation. You're not supposed to be here. I looked her up and down. Still wearing other people's rings? She stepped closer. Leave. Now. Why? I asked calmly. Afraid I'll embarrass you? Daniel finally noticed. His expression changed instantly. Elena, he said, voice low. I smiled. Hello, Daniel. You look different. I am. He stepped forward. I didn't expect. I know. You never do. Rachel hissed. This is a private event. Then why was I invited? I asked, holding up the envelope. Daniel glanced at it. That must have been a mistake. No, I said. It was a reminder. Of what? What you left behind. Rachel snapped. You think this is going to change anything? I smiled wider. It already has. Whispers spread around us like fire. Is that his ex-wife? She looks incredible. Did she say she was invited? I turned and walked toward the exit, leaving the weight of their stares behind me. Outside, the air hit my face like freedom. Mr. Green leaned against the car. How'd it go? I handed him the envelope. Perfect. You said anything? Just enough. He opened the door. So what now? I slid into the seat. Now we make it. Sure, they never forget what they tried to erase. Mommy, are we really going inside? Lily whispered, clutching my hand. Yes, baby, I said, smoothing her dress. Just walk with me and smile. Jackson tugged at his collar. Why do I have to wear this? It itches. Because you look handsome, I said. And because tonight matters, Mr. Green opened the grand hall doors for us. You ready? No, I whispered. But we're doing it anyway. The lights inside were golden and soft. Laughter floated through the room. I walked in, one child on each side, my spine straight, my heart pounding. Mommy, Jackson said. Why are people looking at us? Because you're beautiful, he grinned. I know. And then I saw her. Rachel. She stood near the champagne tower, sipping delicately, eyes moving lazily across the room until they landed on Jackson. Her smile froze. I watched her blink twice, then look. At Lily, the glass in her hand trembled slightly. I said nothing. Just kept walking. Is that? She whispered to the woman beside her. I didn't hear the rest, but I saw the shift in her face. Recognition, fear, guilt. She turned quickly and whispered something into Daniel's ear. He looked over, scanning the room, until he saw us. His lips parted. His hand twitched. He took one step forward, then stopped. Elena, he said under his breath, almost like a prayer. I tilted my head. Jackson looked up at me. Is that him? Yes, I said. Lily blinked. The man from the photo? Yes. She squeezed my hand tighter. He looked scared. Good. Daniel started walking toward us. Rachel grabbed his arm. Don't. Rachel, he said. I have to. No, you don't. He pulled away. Elena, he said again, now louder. Can we talk? I crouched down. Kids, go sit with Mr. Green for a minute. Jackson frowned. Are you okay? I'm perfect. They walked off, glancing back every few steps. I turned to him. Talk then. He looked over his shoulder. Why are they here? You mean your children? He swallowed hard. You never told me. You never asked. His eyes flicked toward Jackson and Lily. They're mine? I raised an eyebrow. Take a wild guess. His face paled. Why now? You married the woman who helped ruin me, I said. I thought tonight was fitting. He shook his head slowly. I didn't know. I did. Rachel stepped closer. You need to leave. I'm not finished, I said. She folded her arms. This isn't the place. No, I said, but it's the moment. Daniel's voice cracked. They look like me. They don't, I snapped. They look like themselves. Why didn't you tell me sooner? You told me I had nothing. He looked down. Rachel whispered, This is pathetic. No, I said. This is justice. She narrowed her eyes. What do you want? I don't want anything. Daniel stepped forward. I do. You don't deserve them, I said. He exhaled. Maybe not. Rachel grabbed his arm. Walk away, Daniel. I can't, he said. You already did, I replied. The room felt colder suddenly. The crowd quieted. Eyes turned. Murmurs began. Rachel noticed. She hissed, You're making a scene. I walked in silently. I said, You're the one unraveling. Her face turned red. You think this little stunt makes you better? No. It reminds me I've always been better. Daniel's hands trembled. Can I see them again? No, I said simply. Elena, please. I gave you everything once. You threw it away. His eyes welled. I didn't blink. They're happy, I said. And they will stay that way, without your chaos. Rachel muttered, Let's go. She's not worth it. Daniel didn't move. I stepped past them. Lily ran to me. Was that Daddy? Yes. Did he want to talk? He did. Did you? I said enough. Jackson asked, Is he coming with us? No, I said softly. He's not. They each grabbed one of my hands, and as I walked toward the exit, I didn't need to look back. I already knew. They were watching me leave. You're really doing this? Sarah asked, watching me sign the papers. I nodded. It's time. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. Catherine stood by the door. We file this today. They'll have to respond within 10 days. What if he refuses? She smiled. He won't, not publicly. Sarah crossed her arms. And if he does? Then we subpoena the test. The law is on our side. I leaned back. Let them squirm. It's their turn. 2 days later, Catherine called. They're trying to block it. Rachel? I asked. Of course. She claims it's harassment. I laughed. Of course she does. She's also pushing a cease and desist, claims you're damaging his brand. Oh no, I said sarcastically. Not his brand. Don't worry, I already filed our response. Fast. I warned them. At the courthouse, Daniel avoided my eyes. Rachel didn't. She strutted across the marble floor like it was a runway. "You're disgusting," she muttered, passing me. I smiled. "Good morning to you, too." Daniel paused in front of me. "Elena." "Daniel." "You." "Don't have to do this." "I already did." He lowered his voice. "There are other ways." "No, there's just this one." Catherine stepped up. "Save it, Mr. Carter. We'll see you in court." Rachel snapped. "You're ruining everything." "Funny," I said. "I remember thinking the same when you ruined me." The judge called our case. We walked in silence. After the hearing, I waited on the courthouse steps. Sarah handed me a coffee. "How do you feel?" "Numb." "You sure you want this public?" "It already is." A reporter approached. "Ms. Carter, do you have a comment on the paternity suit?" "Yes," I said. "Truth matters." She scribbled it down. "Is it true your children haven't met their father?" "They saw him, once." "And his response?" I looked her dead in the eye. "Not enough to matter." 3 weeks passed. Then the envelope arrived. I stared at it. Catherine slid it across the table. "You ready?" "No." "You don't have to open it. I already know." I inhaled slowly. "Then say it." 99.9% match. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. "It's official then?" "Yes. And it's going public at noon." "Good. I hope you're prepared for the storm." "I've lived in storms." She placed her hand on mine. "It's not revenge. It's justice, I know." The headline was everywhere by morning. "Millionaire fathered twins with ex-wife." He abandoned people reposted it, commented, called him a monster, called me a survivor. Rachel posted a denial. Daniel posted nothing. I waited. 2 days later, he showed up at Mr. Green's door. "I need to speak to Elena," he said. Mr. Green frowned. "She's not interested." "Please, just 5 minutes. I'll ask." He turned to me. "It's your call." I nodded. "Let him in." Daniel stepped inside, eyes hollow. "I didn't know." "I told you. I didn't think you meant it." "You didn't care to ask." He looked down. "They're mine." "Yes. And I missed everything. You chose that. I didn't know they existed." "You told me I had nothing, Daniel." "I was wrong." "You were cruel." He looked up. "Can I see them?" "No." "Elena, you had a choice. This is the consequence. I want to fix it. You can't. I'll do anything. Start by disappearing." His voice cracked. "Please." I shook my head. "You don't get to beg now." He stood there, broken. Mr. Green stepped in. "You should go." Daniel turned to me. "They'll know someday." "Yes," I said. "They'll know everything." And he walked out, slower than he came in. Catherine called that night. "You okay?" "Yes." "Want to sue for damages?" "No." "Why not?" "Because this damage already made me stronger. And for once I believed it." "Are you nervous?" Sarah asked, smoothing the collar of my blouse. "No." "You're lying." "I'm focused." She exhaled. "You're allowed to feel something." "Not today. Today is for facts." The courtroom buzzed with whispers. Catherine leaned in. "They're bringing her in." "Grace?" She nodded. "Rachel's daughter. 15. They want her to speak on character." "Interesting choice." She insisted. "Wants to defend." "Them." I looked straight ahead. "Let her." The doors opened. Grace walked in, small and stiff in her navy dress. Rachel sat up taller, proud. Daniel kept his eyes on the table. The bailiff called her to the stand. Catherine whispered, "Let her speak. Do not react." I nodded. The judge looked at Grace. "Do you understand why you're here?" "Yes, Your Honor." "You may proceed." Grace cleared her throat. "I live with Daniel Carter and Rachel Carter. They raised me since I was 6. And do you believe Mr. Carter to be a good man?" She looked at him. "I did." Rachel smiled slightly. Grace continued, "But he lied." Rachel stiffened. Grace, let her speak, the judge said. Grace's voice shook. He lied to me, to everyone. He said he didn't have other children. He said Elena was unstable, that she made everything up. The room went still. Grace turned to me. But she didn't. Rachel stood. Grace, sit down. Mom, stop. She's manipulating you. She showed me photos. Videos, birth certificates, DNA results. The judge banged the gavel. Mrs. Carter, silence. Rachel sat down, red-faced. Grace wiped her eyes. You lied to me. Daniel finally looked up. She met his eyes. I trusted you, he whispered. I'm sorry, she broke. You let me call you Dad. You let me believe I was your only child. I didn't mean, yes you did, she sobbed. You erased them. Tears streamed down her face. You erased them like they didn't matter. Daniel lowered his head. The judge said, That's enough for today. Catherine whispered. That just changed everything. I nodded but said nothing. Rachel stood, eyes burning. You think you've won? This isn't about winning. You humiliated my daughter. She spoke her truth. She's a child. She sees clearer than you do. Rachel stepped closer. You'll regret dragging us here. I looked at her flatly. I already regretted staying silent. She walked off. Daniel remained seated, still staring at the floor. I walked past him. Elena, he said. I paused. She hates me now. No, I said. She just finally sees you. Outside, Sarah hugged me. That girl. She shattered the room. She deserved to speak. You okay? I looked at the sky. I didn't feel joy. You weren't supposed to. Then what was that? Justice. I nodded. It feels quiet and permanent. We stood there in silence, the weight of truth settling where rage used to live. And for the first time, I didn't feel cold. Elena, just hear me out, Daniel said, following me into the hallway. No, you do not even know what I am offering. I do not care. It is not about money. Then why are you holding a check? He held it up. 2 million, tax-free, for the kids, for their future. I crossed my arms. You mean for your reputation? This is not about me. You keep saying that, but your lawyer called twice about PR damage. Because people are talking. Let them. He stepped closer. You do not have to drag this through. The mud. I smiled coldly. The mud is yours, Daniel. I just stopped drowning in it. Think of what this money could do. I already have. And I still say no. You're being unreasonable. No. I'm being loud. He lowered his voice. It will never go away. Neither will the truth. He looked away. What do you want from me? Nothing. Everyone wants something. I did. Once. He held out the check again. Just take it. I didn't move. How much is a clean conscience worth? To you? Elena. I said no. He stared at me. You don't forgive easily. I don't forget easily. We stood there, locked in silence. Finally, he sighed. Then what now? You sleep in the bed you made? The next morning in court, Catherine whispered, He's pale. He hasn't slept. Good. I looked at the bench where he sat, eyes bloodshot, skin gray. Rachel wasn't beside him. He came alone? I asked. Looks like it. Jackson tugged my sleeve. Is that him again? Yes, baby. He looks sick. He's tired. Why? Because truth keeps people awake. Jackson leaned closer. Are you tired? No, I said. I feel wide awake. The judge entered. The room stood. Then silence. Daniel wobbled as he rose. Is he okay? Sarah whispered behind me. I do not care. Halfway through the session, I saw him sway. He clutched the edge of the table, then he dropped. The room gasped. Call an ambulance. Catherine grabbed my arm. Stay still. The paramedics rushed in. Blood pressures crashing. One of them said. Daniel groaned, barely conscious. I can't breathe. They loaded him onto a stretcher. Reporters swarmed. Cameras clicked. Outside, a journalist approached. "Did you see Mr. Carter collapse?" "Yes." "Do you believe it was stress-related?" "No." "Then what?" "Shame." That evening, Jackson climbed into my lap. "Mommy?" "Yes." "Are you sad?" "No." "Not even a little?" "No, baby." "Why not?" "Because I did not fall apart when he left us. He's just catching up." Jackson blinked. "Will he be okay?" "Eventually." "Will we?" I smiled. "We already are." He hugged me tight. "You are brave, Mommy." I kissed the top of his head. "So are you." Sarah handed me tea. "You sure you don't feel anything?" "I feel peace." "That's a big word. I earned it." She nodded. "You're different now." "I'm steel." "Cold?" "No. Strong." And for the first time in years, I knew it was true. "Miss Carter," the man called, jogging. Up the courthouse steps. "Jacob Ford with the Chronicle." "I'm not interested. Just 2 minutes." I kept walking. "I don't want to twist your story," he said. "I want to tell it right." "I've heard that before. I've read every filing, every statement. Your silence says more than the noise around you." I stopped. "And what would you do with that silence?" "Let it speak." I turned. 2 minutes. He sat across from me at a quiet cafe, recorder on the table. "Why now?" "You mean why speak at all?" "Yes." "Because someone finally asked without agenda." He nodded. "What do you want people to know?" "That I didn't break." "What did you feel the moment he kicked you out?" "Like I was nothing." "And now?" "Now I know I was the beginning of everything." He leaned in. "Did you love him?" "Yes." "Do you hate him?" "No." "Why not?" "Because hate keeps you tied to people who don't deserve your energy." He scribbled. "That's powerful." "It's true." "What was the hardest moment?" "When my daughter asked why her father didn't love her." He went quiet. "Did you answer?" "I told her she was loved enough." "Do you forgive him?" "No." "Will you?" "I'm not waiting on that." He nodded. "What do you say to women still stuck?" "That silence won't save you, but your voice might." He clicked off the recorder. "That's the story." I sipped my coffee. "No, Jacob, that's the truth." 3 days later, it went live. The woman Daniel Carter erased, and her rise from silence. I read the title and closed the laptop. Sarah burst in. "You've gone viral." "Already?" Thousands of shares, comments, letters, emails. Raised an eyebrow. "Letters?" "Yes. Actual handwritten letters. From women." I opened one. The handwriting shook. "You gave me courage to file for divorce." Another said, "He told me I was nothing. Not anymore." Mr. Green walked in holding a stack. "You might need a mailbox just for these." I smiled. "Let them keep coming." Jacob called the next morning. "You all right?" "I think so. You shook something loose in the country." "I didn't expect that." "I did," he said. "And Daniel?" "What about him?" "He's issued a statement." "Let me guess. Denial?" "He says he's deeply saddened by the pain caused." I laughed. "Took him long enough. He's losing brand deals. 2 endorsements pulled out today." "Good." "And there's talk of removing him from the board of his own company." "That part doesn't interest me." "No?" "No, I'm not here for revenge." "Then what are you here for?" "Reflection." He paused. "What does that mean?" "Sometimes a mirror is more painful than a fist." 2 nights later, Sarah read out loud from her phone. "A group of survivors are forming a foundation under your name." "What?" "It's real. They want to help women escape toxic relationships." "I never asked for that." "You didn't have to. You lived it." Mr. Green handed me a photo. "Someone drew this of you." I stared. It was a sketch of me holding Jackson and Lily, smiling, strong, free. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to," he said. "You already did." And for the first time, my story belonged to me. A knock, then another. I looked at the clock. 11:42 p.m. Sarah? I called, stepping toward the door. No, a voice said quietly. It's me. I froze. Daniel? Please, open the door. I cracked it just enough to see his face. Red eyes, damp cheeks, shoulders hunched like a man who had not slept in weeks. I shouldn't have come this late, he mumbled, but I couldn't sleep. What do you want? He looked down. I don't know where to start. You don't have to. I need to. I opened the door a few more inches. Say it quickly. I made a mistake. I crossed my arms. Which one? All of them, he whispered. Every single one. I didn't respond. He swallowed hard. I miss you. No, you don't. Elena, please. You don't miss me. You miss the version of me who stayed silent. He stepped closer. I see it now, what I threw away. I narrowed my eyes. You didn't throw me away. You left me standing with nothing but a suitcase and a secret. I was scared. You were selfish. He wiped his face. I thought Rachel would be better. She was easier. That's not the same. I didn't know how to be good. Then you shouldn't have pretended. He looked toward the ground. The kids, no. Elena, no. You don't get to say their names. I'm their father. You're a stranger. I want to know them. Now, I'm sorry. Do you think sorry gives you access to their lives? I'm not asking for forgiveness. Yes, you are. I'm begging for a chance. You had one, I said coldly. 6 years ago. He closed his eyes. I see them in the papers, in the photos. They're beautiful. They're mine. He nodded slowly. I know. They're happy, whole, safe. Why would I risk that for guilt and old tears? Because I've changed. No, I said. You've just been exposed. He looked up again. I've lost everything. I stared. No, you gave it away. Every time you looked at me and saw a burden instead of your wife. I didn't understand what I had. You never tried. He reached out. Let me in, just for a minute. No. Elena. You left your heart when you took your money, I whispered. I found mine in the silence you gave me. He dropped his hand. I stepped back. I loved you once, I said, but I love myself more now. His voice cracked. Will I ever see them? Not tonight. I closed the door slowly, carefully, without slamming it, and through the wood, I heard him sobbing. Final hearing, Catherine said as we walked into the courthouse. You ready? I've been ready for years. Sarah squeezed my hand. He's here. I turned toward the bench. Daniel sat alone, no Rachel, no lawyer beside him. He looked smaller, like the room had shrunk him. The bailiff called. All rise. We stood. The judge cleared his throat. We're here to finalize the matter of Carter versus Carter. Both parties. Present? Yes, Your Honor, Catherine answered. Daniel mumbled. Yes. The judge shuffled through the papers. Before I issue my decision, do either parties wish to make a final statement? Catherine turned to me. I shook my head. Daniel stood. Your Honor, I don't have much to say. I've already lost more than I realized. I accept whatever the court decides. The judge nodded. Very well. I breathed in. He continued. Based on evidence presented, the court grants full custody of the children to the mother, Ms. Elena Carter. Daniel didn't move. In addition, the court awards emotional damages in the amount of $250,000 to be paid by Mr. Daniel Carter. He lowered his head. And finally, due to the public nature of this case, the court orders a formal written apology from Mr. Carter to be issued through verified channels within 7 days. A beat of silence. Catherine leaned toward me. You okay? Yes. The judge closed the file. This court is adjourned. Rachel shot up from the gallery, grabbing her purse. I told you this would happen, she hissed at Daniel. He didn't answer. She stormed out, heels echoing across the floor. I stood still. Daniel slowly turned toward me. You got everything. No, I said. I got peace. He blinked. And what do I have? Exactly what you chose. He opened his mouth but said nothing. Catherine smiled. Let's go. As we reached the door, Daniel called. Elena. Paused but didn't look back. I'm sorry, I turned my head slightly. The apology isn't for me. It's for them. He nodded, lips trembling. They're better with you. I know. Outside, the air hit my face like a closing chapter. Sarah laughed. That's it? That's it. Mr. Green walked up, holding Jackson and Lily's hands. They want to know what happened. I knelt. Mommy told the truth. Jackson grinned. Did the judge believe you? Yes, baby, he did. Lily hugged my neck. Can we get ice cream now? Absolutely. Catherine chuckled. Victory scoop? No, I said, smiling. Freedom scoop. As we walked away, I didn't glance back once. I didn't need to. The story had ended, and I was already writing a better one. Are you writing again? Sarah asked, leaning against the doorframe. Yes, I said, not looking up. For the paper? No, just a letter. To him? I nodded. But I'm not sending it. She stepped closer. Why write it at all? Because some things are easier on paper. She sat across from me. Read it? I hesitated. Okay, I held the page and took a breath. Dear Daniel, you don't know this version of me, the woman holding this pen, the woman writing to you without shaking. Sarah stayed quiet. I used to scream at my pillow, thinking of all the things I wanted to say. But now it's quiet. I'm not angry anymore, not tired, just done. You sure that's forgiveness? Sarah asked. No, but it's peace, I continued. I'm not writing to make you feel guilty. I'm not writing to make you regret. I'm writing because I don't want to carry this anymore. That's powerful, she whispered. I kept going. You broke more than a home. You broke a woman who would have given you everything, but you also forced her to rebuild. And in rebuilding, she found more than she ever imagined. Sarah folded her hands. Keep going. I nodded. I used to replay the night you shut the door. The way your eyes didn't flinch, the way I couldn't breathe. Now I replay the night I closed the door on you, and I slept better than I had in years. I love that line, she said. It's true. I forgave you, I read aloud. Not for you, for me, for my children, because hate hardens the heart, and I need mine soft for them. Sarah blinked fast. That's going to make people cry. I smiled. That's not why I wrote it. I know, but it will. I said. The paper down. You gonna burn it? She asked. No. Then what? I'm going to keep it. Why? To remind myself I survived. She nodded. Then it's not a letter for him. No, I said. It never was. Later that night, Jackson climbed onto my lap. Were you writing about Daddy again? I paused. How did you know? You always look sad when you hold that notebook. I kissed his forehead. Not sad, just remembering. Did you forgive him? I did. Why? Because I wanted room in my heart for love. He leaned into me. You have a big heart, Mommy. I try. Lily peeked in from the doorway. Can we write letters too? Of course, I said. You can write to anyone, even people who were mean, especially them. Jackson grinned. I'm going to write to the boy who took my crayons. I laughed. Make sure it's kind, Lily nodded. Will Daddy ever write us back? I don't know, sweetheart. Would you read it? Yes. And then we'd talk about it, together. They curled up beside me, warm and soft, and somewhere deep inside, something let go. A weight I didn't need anymore, a wound that no longer defined me, and in its place, space, for better things. Is this really it? Jackson asked, standing at the gate with his backpack. I smiled. Yes, this is our new home. Lily looked up at the windows. It has flowers. And real stairs, Jackson shouted, racing up the steps. Sarah chuckled behind me. You sure you don't need help unpacking? We've got it, I said. You've already done enough. Mr. Green parked the car and popped the trunk. Got one last box of books for you, I laughed. That's all I need to feel settled. Jackson peeked from the door. Can I pick my room? Yes, I said. But no fighting over the one with the window seat. Lily gasped. It has a window seat? They both ran inside. Sarah followed. It smells like new paint. Fresh start, I said. She glanced around. You really did it, huh? I really did. You happy? I nodded. I'm finally home. Later that evening, I sat on the porch, sipping tea. Jackson tiptoed, out barefoot. Mommy? Yes, love? He climbed onto the step beside me. Can we stay here forever? We'll stay as long as we want. He leaned his head on my shoulder. It feels different here. How? Like we're not waiting for anything anymore. Lily pushed the screen door open. Jackson, come help me find a name. For what? I asked. For the tree. Stood. What tree? She pointed. The one in the backyard. It's ours now. Jackson followed her, barefoot in the grass. I watched them circle the tiny tree, arguing over names. What about Brave? He said. No, Lily shook her head. It needs to sound softer. She turned to me. Mommy, what do you think? I paused. Hope. Lily smiled. Yes, hope. Why hope? Jackson asked. Because that's what got us here. They looked at each other, nodded, then crouched beside the trunk. Hope, Lily whispered, pressing her hand to the bark. That night I tucked them in. Are we poor anymore? Jackson asked suddenly. I shook my head. No, baby. Not in the ways that matter. Will Daddy ever see this house? Maybe. But he won't live in it. Good. Lily muttered. It's ours. Exactly. They pulled their blankets up. Mommy? Yes? Can we stay here? And never go back to that old apartment? I kissed their foreheads. We're home. We don't have to go back. I stepped outside again and stood on the porch. The air smelled like jasmine. Mr. Green sat on the swing. You did it. I'm still not sure how. You didn't give up. I almost did. But you didn't. I looked at the sky. He took everything. And you built more. I lost a husband. You found yourself. I nodded. And that's more than enough. The wind rustled through the leaves. Somewhere inside, Lily laughed. And I knew, in my bones, we were finally safe. Finally whole. Mommy, is that him? Jackson pointed at the television. I turned toward the screen. Daniel. Hair unkempt. Suit wrinkled. Eyes hollow. A reporter's voice echoed. Once the face of Carter Enterprises, now facing multiple lawsuits and a collapsed board, Daniel Carter appears alone and without legal counsel. I nodded. Yes, baby, that's him. Lily squinted. He looks sad. He looks lost, I said. Do you think he's okay? I think he's where he put himself. Jackson whispered. Is he poor now? Maybe, I said softly. But money was never his problem. The camera zoomed in. Daniel didn't speak. Just sat there, silent, unmoving. Sarah walked into the room. You saw it? I did. She crossed her arms. Want me to turn it off? No, I'm okay. Sure. Yes. We watched as the reporter continued. He declined to comment. His former partners refused support. No statement from family. Is he all alone? Lily asked. I nodded. Some doors stay closed for a reason. Later that night, Sarah poured tea. You really don't feel anything? No anger, no joy, just air, not even satisfaction? I got that in court. She took a sip. He lost everything. He had everything and still chose nothing. You could have warned him. He never would have listened. She leaned in. Do you think he regrets it? Regret needs a conscience. And if he has one now, Then maybe he'll grow. Too late, though. I shrugged. Growth isn't about timing. It's about truth, Jackson peeked in. Is the man on TV going to jail? No, I said. He's just answering questions. Like you did? Exactly. Did he lie? Yes. Did you? No. He nodded. Then you win. Lily climbed into my lap. What happens? Now, we live, Sarah smiled. Simple as that? As simple as that. The next day a letter arrived. No return address. Just my name, inside. A single sentence in familiar handwriting. I finally see it. I folded it and set it in the drawer. Sarah glanced over. You're not going to answer? No. You sure? Some doors, I repeated, stay closed for a reason. She didn't push. That evening I sat on the porch with Mr. Green. You saw the news? He asked. Yes. He looks finished. He is. You feel nothing? Relieved. Why? Because it's not my burden anymore. He rocked slowly. Do you still think of him? Sometimes, but not with pain. He smiled. You made it, Elena. I did. Jackson ran outside. Can we plant another tree? What for? For Mommy's new chapter. I laughed. All right, pick a spot. Lily joined him, hands covered in dirt. We'll name it Freedom. Mr. Green chuckled. Hope and freedom. Fitting, right? I looked at the sky. Perfect. Because this wasn't the end. It was the beginning.